Welcome to the Single Player Report podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct. Now, to clarify, this is not a part of not E3, aka the Summer Games Fest. This is Nintendo's own showcase. They did it on their own time, own thing, because Summer Games Fest ended Sunday, and this is their own thing. Nintendo doesn't seem to... I don't think Nintendo really wants to be a part of, like, not E3, or even back then. I don't even think they wanted to be a part of E3. They wanted to do their own thing on their own time. And even though back then, when they were leaving E3 and kind of abandoning it, they still released the Direct around the time of E3 week. Now, they just completely just like, yeah, no, we're not going to be a part of Summer Games Fest, which is fine, which is good. Honestly, I think that's good. I think they want to do their own thing. They want to be on their own time and just talk about, the games that they're releasing that I'm excited for. And I want to talk about the games that they're releasing that I'm excited for, because I love Nintendo. I love Nintendo, even though I think they're making a lot of terrible business practices and shit. I still love them. I love PlayStation games, even though I think PlayStation's making a lot of bad decision practices. And I like Xbox. I think Xbox has a lot of good games, even though they are doing better. They're still doing, the new CEO, I think, is improving a lot of shit. I think she's doing a lot of good. But so far, they're still not winning me over. But PlayStation seems to be is trying to win me over with releasing a whole bunch of single player games. My dog is under my foot. She's just right next to my foot because she just wants attention. She wants attention. But I'm sadly will not be giving her attention right now because I want to talk about video games. That sounds so mean, but I will give her all the attention after this video. I promise, baby. I promise. She's right by my foot, so she's literally on my foot. So I'm just gonna go over the Nintendo Direct. I didn't actually fully watch the Nintendo Treehouse. I tried to. I got bored because I wanted to do other things at that time. Because I was like, I want to just watch some TV and shit. So I kind of just didn't watch it. But the first announcement was Rhythm Heaven Groove, or whatever it's called. What is this? It's a mini game collection. Basically similar to like a WarioWare, where you have to hit things at a certain rhythm to a thing. You gotta do it at a certain time or a certain rhythm. And this one very much uses the rhythm. This one's very much music based. You gotta hit things at a certain rhythm. And here's the thing with me and minigame collections. I do not give a shit about minigame collections. There has to be some form of story or gameplay that connects with each other for me to really be interested enough. Minigame collections are what they are. They're just collections of quickly made little minigames you play to kind of get to the next minigame. I don't really care about minigame collections. They're fun. Like, I'll have fun with a minigame collection if I'm playing with my friend or something. Like, no matter what, they're fun little games to play, to just kind of mess around with. But playing on my own and just playing it, because these games, especially the WarioWare games, for a while there were single player games, and they're minigame single player collections. If I want to play a game on my own, I'm gonna play a game that has that's a single player game that has interesting story, has an interesting gameplay mechanics and stuff, and it's not just like a different minigame after a different minigame after a different minigame that has no real connection to each other. Like, I'm not saying the game has to have a complete story. It just has to have a bare minimum story and fun gameplay, but it feels like it's connected, like the game is connected. Like a platformer is a good example, a classic Mario platformer or something, where there's not an in-depth narrative and it's just there to be like arcadey fun, or Doom or something, where there's no real narrative. It's just kind of piecing everything together to where it feels like it's flowing nicely. This is just a minigame collection. Now, there is one minigame collection I actually do want to play that isn't this, and the only reason I want to play it is because it's not really a minigame. It's a game collection, but it's not really a minigame collection, and that is UFO 50. I have not played UFO 50, but what I have seen of it, I'm going to try to get some footage of it, or at least the trailer of it up. What I have seen of it is that it is very much just, it's not a minigame collection, it is a game collection. Like, these are full-length games that try to be like classic NES games. There are games that can last over 20. There's like an RPG in this game that lasts around like 20 hours, I believe. I could be wrong. There's a point-and-click horror game that lasts around a good couple hours. There's a Metroidvania that lasts. These are games. These are meaty like games, all in one collection, and they're all made by one person. Not one, but it might be like a small team. I believe like a group of 2 people. I think I could be wrong, but these are actual like full-on games. Of course, these aren't. These are made just for this collection. Like they do not exist on, and these are retro. These are indie games that look like retro, but they made so many of them into one collection, and it's not really a minigame collection because they're not many. They're full-on experiences. They're full-on turn-based RPGs, Metroidvanias, platformers, beat-em-ups, like that. They could last from a couple hours to like 20 hours. That's how big some of these games are. And this is the minigame collection that I find fascinating. Not something, and again, it's not really a minigame collection because it's not mini. The games aren't mini. These games last a good couple of minutes, and they're mostly just there to be fast-paced, like you gotta move on to the next game as quickly as possible. And personally, I just don't find these games fascinating. That is just me. So what was the next game? Here we go. I did talk about how this when I was playing this when I did the demo playthrough, which link in the description, you can watch me play the demo. When I played it for the demo, I said, when is this game going to get announced for the Switch 2? Because every other new Capcom game has been released on the Switch 2 day one. Resident Evil 9, day one. Pragmata, day one. Resident Evil Code Veronica, day one. So all these games are being released day one on the Switch 2, except this game. And I'm like, it has to be like announced, wouldn't you think? Like they probably will announce it at that rumored Nintendo Direct I said in that video. Like, it has to be announced soon, and it was announced, and it is day one with the other versions. So hell yeah. Hell yeah, but that wasn't the only Capcom game they announced. Dragon's Dogma 2 is getting a Switch 2 port. What? I played a little bit of this game. I've not fully played it. I need to do a good full playthrough of this game because it's fun. I loved it. I very much loved it. It was very much like a fantasy action RPG game with Shadow of Colossus gameplay. I never played the original either, but there were some Shadow of Colossus elements because you can climb these giant monsters and find their weak spot and attack their weak spot. That's very interesting, but it was also like a normal action RPG because you have different classes and you fight like smaller enemies that aren't, the giant monsters with weak spots that you can climb. So I did like what I played. I definitely want to play it. I hope they update it to where you can have multiple save files instead of just that one. So I was like, didn't really care for that. So Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out next October. This would be a game that won't be releasing day one with the other versions because it's already been released. But that is awesome. Stellar Blade is getting a Switch 2 port. Stellar Blade. So it makes me wonder if the Stellar Blade spin-off sequel game, I don't know. I don't think it's a sequel game. I think it is a spin-off game because the gameplay is drastically different from this one. I definitely think this will be I definitely think that we could see that day one with the Switch 2 on the Switch 2, day one with the Switch 2 with other consoles and stuff. That's available later this year. There is no official release date. This game looks interesting. Looks cool. It's kind of like a sci-fi anime inspired. What's that game called? That diverse game. It Takes Two. That's what it's called. It Takes Two. It's that basically just It Takes Two, but an anime style. Raymond Legends Retold is coming to Switch 2, which we already knew. So I'm excited for that. I've already talked about that on my State of Play video portion of my first episode. So there's that. This game looks interesting. It's called Big Walk. It's a friend slot game where you just walk around doing puzzles here and there with your friends. And I find it interesting because you have you can talk to them. You have close-up encounters, or if they're far away, you can use a microphone and talk to them from far away and stuff, and they can send you a signal. But if they don't have a microphone, they can make a sign that says I fell down a hole, and I think that's just cute. This is a cute little game. It's gonna be cross-play, so you'll be able to play this on many different PC to Xbox or PS5, but also on the Switch 2. Seasons of the Sea. This is a One Piece restaurant sim. I know nothing of One Piece at all. I know nothing of One Piece. Nothing. That's generally all I can say because I know nothing of One Piece. Does this fit One Piece? Does this fit One Piece? Does this style of cooking sim fit what One Piece is? Or is this just a generic restaurant sim game that has the One Piece license over it, but it absolutely does not feel right for this series? I know nothing about One Piece. I don't know if this makes sense for this series or if this is just some quick cash grab because it's an anime franchise and they always do have those shitty I know there's a lot of animes that have shitty fucking generic games that have nothing to do with the series, but they have the name over it. I don't even know, is the character that you're playing that we see most of the time, that blonde character, a cook? I think he is a cook, but again, I don't know this series. I know nothing about it. Does this feel right? If you are a One Piece fan, tell me, does this make sense for One Piece? Does this game right here make sense for One Piece? Are you excited to even play it? That is absolutely honest. I'm honestly asking. Because I see this, to me, it looks like, not knowing anything about the series, to me, it looks like a generic cooking sim that they just slapped the One Piece license over and shoehorn as many references and characters as they possibly can in this game. Because I've seen it before. It's not the only time. And I'm just I don't understand it. That's the big thing. We're getting a free update for Pokemania. That's not Pokemania. It's Pokepia? Is that how you pronounce that? I don't fucking know. You're gonna be able to go underwater and build a little underwater area, like a little underwater village and stuff. Be friends with your underwater swimming type Pokemon. You could build a little house, live there, and stuff like that. And this is a free update. This is a free software update, but they are adding on to that and making a full expansion pass that is under the water. I don't know what will be different. It looks like there's a new area to explore, a new little thing that you can add on to it, and all that. This is a paid expansion that will be available later today. This is not free. This will be paid. I'm just trying to see what will be the real. What will be really, because what's different from the free update where you can just swim underwater, and this added area that is underwater? I'm confused by that. I need to play the game. I definitely need to play the game, and if I play it, I'll finally understand why this is big. Because to me, it's just like, well, you already have an underwater area, free update. Why is this little area that important? See, I need to play this game, and I do plan to play it because I do love wholesome games. I love wholesome games, cozy games, and this is a cozy game, wholesome game. So I'll definitely play that. So I'm excited to play that. This is interesting. We see a Pokemon, and then we see Game Freak and Komi Tecmo. Those are the publishers who make the Warrior games, or the developers that make the Warrior games. Are they making a Pokemon Warriors game? Unless they made a different game, I don't think they made Snap. I mean, they've helped Nintendo a lot of times, and it looks like we're in underwater. So, or was that the sky? Yeah, this is underwater. Like, this is clearly, or is this the sky? I don't know. Like, has Komi Tecmo has helped with development of other Nintendo games. Not just the Hyrule Warriors games. No, they've helped with the Breath of the Wild games and other stuff. Like, have they done Pokemon? Coded up the social simulation and crafting sandbox game Pokemon. Okay, so they helped with Pokemon Pokapia. But they haven't actually, but this is time they're making a big deal out of them. So this makes me think that maybe this is a Warriors game, a Pokemon Warriors game. That would be fucking sick. That would be sick. Let me see if anyone else talks about Pokemon. I don't know. What is this? What could this be? Because it seems like this has nothing to do with that other the Pokapia game. I don't think that's even the right way to say it. I've heard people say the name of it before. I just can't remember. Like, what is this? Because I think this is a separate announcement. This is a separate thing. Could it be a Warriors game? Maybe. Could it be another spinoff that's a Pokemon game? Also, maybe. Like, that fits more closely to actual Pokemon. Like, would a Pokemon Warriors game work? Hyrule Warriors works. That makes sense. Fire Emblem Warriors makes sense as well. Those games make sense to do Warriors game. Would a Pokemon Warriors game make sense? I'm not sure. I would like to play it. That'd be interesting. But could it be? I don't know what you are. I don't know, because they have not like had this logo on. Because here's the thing, third-party companies like Koei Tecmo have helped with the development of other games. They have helped develop and all that, but they're usually referenced in the credits. They're not referenced as one of the logos before the game starts, or even in the trailers, really. Maybe in the small text that's in the trailers, like right here, but not proudly there, because uh, the developer that does the Xenoblade games helped also on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and they're only referenced in the credits and not outside of anywhere in outside the game. So, to me, this feels like it's a separate spin-off project that has nothing to do with that other game. And this is a new project, and I'm thinking it might be something to do with Warriors, but I could be wrong. But well, either way, I'm looking forward to whatever the hell it is. I think it'd be very, very cool. So, this is Fire Emblem. I seem to be having trouble pronouncing it. This looks like I've never played this series. That guy looks like Alucard. I've never played this series, and honestly, I don't think I have really much to say about it. I might play this game. I definitely might play this game because I would like to try this series at least, and this probably be a good starting point. I mean, the game on Switch probably would also been like a good starting point as well. Definitely not the other Fire Emblem game on Switch. There was that one, Three Houses, and then there was another one that heavily needs you to play like the other Fire Emblem, or the first game or the second game, the first two games, because it had characters from those games, and it very much tied heavily within the story of Fire Emblem 1 and 2. So that game definitely would not have been a good starter game. I think Three Houses probably would have been. And I definitely think this game will also be. And you know what? I'll play it. I do like turn-based games. I do have kind of a hard time playing like tactic strategy games. But also, honestly, I've only played like a few, and one of them I really hated, and it was a Young Justice tie-in game, and I did not like it. It was very bad. But I've played games like XCOM, played a little bit of XCOM, and I loved XCOM. I loved what I played of XCOM. So I definitely think I could like this game, this style of game. I just never gave it a chance. So I'll definitely play it and probably give it a chance. There's a collection. There's a box set that includes with an art book, some art cards, a still book, the game in its normal case, and a map of this new area, or this area in the game. And I would say I'm not going to get this because I'm not a fan of the series, and this means nothing to me. If I was a fan of the series, this would be awesome. But being not a fan of the series, I'm like, okay, it's a cool little thing to get. I'm not going to get it because it's going to be a lot of money. I'd rather just get the base game. This game's interesting. It's like some kind of ninja game where you use bubblegum to do a lot of things. It's like a open world bubblegum ninja game. It's called like, what's it called? What's the name of it? It's open world. It's an open world game. And it looks fun. It looks like a fun little game. Like, I'll play it. I never played the first one. This is a sequel. It's called Ninjala 2, The Uncharted Planet. Never played the first one. I'll play this because it looks like a little fun little game. A little fun little open world game. So I might play that. Again, might. I'm not guaranteed to play it. I'm not like, ooh, this is something I want to play. So I might play it. DK Challenge! Barrels in! What is this? On the Switch, on the Nintendo Switch Online service, and this is, I think, this is for just the Switch 2 maybe, and it's a limited time event. You can do a lot of challenges and a bunch of Donkey Kong games. Specifically, it's only for the SNES Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 games. And you can do a bunch of... Actually, it's not. It says it's like 3 games. It says on... So it's probably all the Donkey Kong games from the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy, and the NES. So no Donkey Kong 64, sadly. Which I don't even think is out yet. But you can play those games and do little challenges here and there. And it's a limited time thing. Maybe this is their start of trying to include achievements and trophies and shit. maybe. But you can do you can do challenges for the classic Donkey Kong countries or classic Donkey Kong games. But you also got challenges for Donkey Kong Bonanza. You can do different challenges for that. And again, this seems like the start of achievements for. I think that they're testing this out to see if people would like this, and they're going to probably do. They're going to probably start doing more achievements for their games. I 100% see this as Nintendo's gateway to do achievements and stuff. People have been asking Nintendo to include achievements for games. Like, there are people who love achievements and just want to get all achievements, and there's people who, like, I don't really care for achievements, but, you know, I wouldn't mind having. I get achievements if I really love a game. Like, I get trophies and achievements. I have platinum a bunch of PlayStation games, and I got all the achievements in a couple games on Steam. So I do like trophy hunting, achievement hunting when it's a game I really love. And I do really love a lot of Nintendo games, so I think it would be a fun little addition, as long as they don't make a truly like big deal out of it. If it can be easily turned off, like a lot of achievements are, then that's fine. Like on PlayStation, Xbox, and even Steam, you can turn off achievements and trophies. So as long as they do that, then I don't think it would be a big deal. And I do think this is the start of something. So this is very interesting, very cool. I want to get a Switch 2 so I can play the fucking Bonanza game. This will probably be gone. Yeah, it says June 9th to September 1st. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get a Switch 2. I also don't know when I'm going to get a new computer. I don't know if it's going to be around that time, sadly. Maybe it might be. I mean, I do got a couple more months before September. So maybe, but I'm not really sure. So I probably will miss this event, this DK challenge. Yeah. I mean, I probably could get it within the next 2 months, but I'm not really sure. I hope to get a Switch 2 soon. I hope to get my new PC soon as well. A new PC. I keep saying my new PC as if I already bought it. I have not bought it. I've not got anything. I've not been able to buy it. I'm hoping to be able to buy it soon. Anyways, Donkey Kong Bonanza is got some DLC for the Emerald Rush mode. So the DK Island Emerald Rush mode, which is basically kind of like a roguelike mode, but it's not completely because it doesn't have any randomized areas and stuff. So it's not really a roguelike mode. I don't know what to really call it. People call it a roguelike mode. What I've seen of it, it's not. It's not. But they're doing a 40th anniversary for Super Mario Brothers, and I honestly thought they would talk about like a new 3D Mario games, and they didn't. So, damn, nothing for the 40th of Mario. But what they did include was Bonanza, in the Emerald Rush mode, has a lot of Super Mario references here and there. Like you get these little bricks that will have Mario coins, and Donkey Kong and Daisy are dressed like Mario and Luigi. So that's cool. That's actually pretty cute. You also can get randomly a question block just appear. Like you can destroy the sand and a question block will appear, or a mushroom will come out of the sand. So this mode is including a lot of Mario stuff, which is interesting. And it's only gonna last. Looks like until June to August. I don't know if it's gonna be there forever, but they're saying Wave 1 June 9th, Wave 2 July 14th, Wave 3 August 4th, and Wave 4 August 25th, and they're all at a specific. Like Wave 1 is June 30th, and that's when it's at 12:59 a.m. PT. And then Wave 2 is July 14th at 1 a.m. PT. And then that ends on July 24th, 21st at 12:59 a.m. PT, and then Wave 3 begins on August 4th at 1 a.m. PT, while ends on August 11th. The only one that does not have an ending date is the Wave 1. Oh, no, it does. I didn't see it. June 9th to June 30th. So this is just a limited time thing, which I think is dumb. Why do this limited time thing? Just fucking keep it. Why do the limited time thing? I don't understand that. It makes no sense to me. I don't get Nintendo. Like, it was just do a limited time thing. Like, fucking keep it. Let it be a thing. Why does it have to be a limited thing? That's dumb. The creators of Vampire Survivor announced a game, and I thought this would be the new Vampire Crawlers coming to Switch 2. I don't know if it's already been on Switch 2 or not. I thought this was Vampire Crawlers. No, it is a what is this series? Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble Salvation is what it's called. It is a Jujutsu Kaisen Vampire Survivor game. And so I made a joke when I was reacting to this, like, does this developer only know how to make two type of games? A Vampire Survivor game or a dungeon crawler? A first-person dungeon crawler. First-person turn-based dungeon crawler. Because that's also a roguelike. So a roguelike first-person card-based dungeon crawler. Do they only know how to make those type of games? Because this is a new game. This has nothing to do with Vampire Survivor. And it's Vampire Survivor. It's just Vampire Survivor, and it's made by the Vampire Survivor developers. And I'm like, this is cool. But why would you play this over Vampire Survivors? I truly don't understand. Like, why would you play this? You have to be really huge into this game, into this series, to really want to play this. But as someone who's a fan of Vampire Survivors, are they really going to go over and be like, you know, I played this series, I played this new game based on this anime? I don't think so. I think they'll just stick with either Vampire Survivors or Vampire Crawlers. I obviously, when I made that joke, I know why this game is like, because the IP holder wanted a game based on the anime that played exactly like Vampire Survivors, so they most likely asked the developers if they could make a Vampire Survivor game, and they agreed. I just kind of it's just I've played a little Vampire Survivors, and I liked what I played. It was fun, it was cozy, it was like a little just turn off your mind type of experience. But it's not something that I can get addicted to, I'm gonna be honest. It's just because I wasn't really doing a lot. I was like, I'm not really doing a lot in this. I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm just not doing enough. And I like to do a lot when I'm playing games. I like to push buttons. I like to make decisions and strategize. And to me, when I was playing it, I was like, I'm just kind of moving around while the game attacks for me. I'm like, it's fine. I'm entertained enough, but not enough to be like, I'm going to continue playing this. It's just not my style of game, honestly. It's fun. I don't hate it. It's not my style of game. Let's see, what is this next thing? I truly don't remember. Okay, we got some Souls-likes announced for the Switch 2. Lords of the Fallen 2 is getting a Switch 2 port. So, this is getting a Switch 2 port, and it looks good. It was interesting. Looks like a fun game. I've only ever played the original Lords of the Fallen that came out in the 2014. That wasn't even by this developer. It was by the developers who made the Surge games, because they created Lords of the Fallen 1, and then they moved away from that series when it was kind of like no one really cared for it and stuff. Like, people weren't really critically loving it, so they moved away from that series and created the Surge games, Surge 1 and 2. And then someone else, the person who owns the IP, gave the games to a different studio, and they rebooted it and called Lords of the Fallen. They just called it Lords of the Fallen. And this is the sequel to that. So technically, I've never played any of the games made by CI Games. I've only played the original 2014 Lord of the Fallen, and I thought it was It was an okay game. I think the developers of that game learned from what they did wrong about Lords of the Fallen and improved the Surge games, because the Surge games are fucking good. I've only played the first one though. I've heard great things about two though. This one I'm excited for because this game is my favorite, my all-time favorite Souls-like, and it's Lies of fucking P, the complete edition. So this does not just include the base game, but it comes with a DLC. I have not played the DLC, and I want to play it. So I'm definitely gonna buy the Switch 2 version, and I'm gonna fucking play. I'm gonna replay the base game. I'm gonna love it. Now, when I first played the base game, it was like weeks before they made the announcement of Lies of P getting DLC. So I got to finish the game and experience that announcement, and it was fucking awesome. I was like, holy shit! I got all the references from the game in that DLC, and it got me like, hell yeah! I was so excited when I saw the DLC announced. I played it on Game Pass, and I'm saying that because the game was not updated, so it did not include the difficulty slider, the difficulty options. So it was just the base hard difficulty when the game first launched. Ever since the DLC did release, they did include a difficulty. They updated the base game, to have a difficulty option, and I have not played the game since they added that. I want to play this game. I want to I probably, when I do replay it, I'll probably replay it on hard mode, because I already beat the game on hard mode because it was the default difficulty. So I definitely probably will replay it again, but on the hard mode difficulty. And I'm definitely gonna play the DLC, and I'm gonna play it with the complete edition because I love this game. This is my favorite Souls-like, and it is awesome to get a complete edition and a port for Switch 2. I just want this game physically, so I'm definitely going to wait until October 2nd, because it's going to come out digitally August 6th, but a physical edition will be released on October 2nd. So I want this game physically. I want to own this game physically, so I'm going to buy it on October 2nd. I love this game. This is my favorite Souls-like. And I say Souls-like, even though, honestly, I think I kind of do like this more than a From Software game, but that feels so blasphemous, because if without From Software, this game would not exist. So I can't say it's my favorite Souls type of game. I gotta say it's my favorite Souls-like, because without From Software, this game would not exist. And I have to give appreciation for those developers. And Bloodborne, I love Bloodborne. I fucking love Bloodborne. That's probably the main reasons why I love Lies of P, because I fucking love Bloodborne. It's basically a puppet version of Bloodborne in a way. It's fucking it's good. It's a good game, and I can't wait to get the physical edition. And just, man, I love this game. I love Lies of P, and I can't wait for the sequel, whatever the sequel is going to be called. Which I'm so excited to see what the sequel is going to be called. I doubt it's going to be called Lies of P 2, because at the end of Lies of P 1, if you have not played it, spoilers. I'm just going to wave my hand just in case, so you can close your ears or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But at the end of Lies of P 1, it's revealed that they hint the sequel game will be inspired by Wizard of Oz. And so you're going to be playing as Dorothy, because we do see the shoes. Like, we see a person walking by, so we see a close up of their feet. They're walking by, and they got the ruby the slippers. I think they got some kind of slipper on. I don't think it's ruby, because ruby is the copyrighted slipper, so it's probably what the book was, and it's like emerald, an emerald slipper or something. I think that was original book's slippers, because the first ever movie adaptation, the ruby slippers only comes from that version. So I think Warner Brothers owns the Ruby Slippers, or is it MGM? I think it's MGM. It's either Warner Brothers or MGM. I don't really know. I don't really know who owned the original Wizard of Oz. I think it was MGM. So whoever owns the original movie owns the slippers. So it's hot. My fan's not pointing at me because my dog was on the bed with the fan on her, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna move the fan. She's now under my feet, and it sucks. Come on, Piper. Over. And my dog's name is Piper. Cute dog. Well, I'm excited for this game. So excited. Was the next announcement the From Software game? No, Devil May Cry 5. We're getting a Switch 2 port of Devil May Cry 5, and I'm going to get it just to have a physical copy of it. Funny enough, they released Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. They have not released Devil May Cry 4 on the Switch 1. So I find it funny that they skipped straight to Devil May Cry 5 for the Switch. So people who've played the series for the first time on the Switch have a piece of the story missing. I find it funny. Why couldn't they? I wonder why they didn't just make this a collection for both games. It says digital version. So I'm guessing they are going to release a physical version probably later. Not right now, but I do think they're probably going to release a physical version a little bit later. This game, this is funny. I'm a kind of inspiring filmmaker and game developer. And I would look up like type of games to get inspired by. So there'd be games like I have like a playlist for games to be inspired by, and a bunch of games were Metroidvanias. Like, okay, what was like a fast-paced character action 2D Metroidvania game? And this was a game that popped up a lot, and I'd never heard it before. And it was only released on the Wii and the PS Vita. And it never got any other console release. And I'm like, this game looks fun. This game looks awesome. It looks cool. I would like to play it. And so I thought about like buying a Wii copy, but it's called More Musha, Revenant Blades. It was originally called Rebirth, but I'm guessing they're adding some new things here and there. So now they're adding the new subtitle Revenant Blades. It's not a sequel. It is just a port of. It is just like a port with probably added features and stuff from the PS Vita version. So this is early 2027, so that's cool. Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 are getting Nintendo Switch 2 port. And I love the first game. I have not played 3, though. I have played 1 and 2, and I thought 2 was very boring. It seems like they're adding a lot of new features to these games. It sounds like they're going to add like a vehicle for you to ride around in, so you're not just walking to this large open world, so you can get to places faster. And I don't know, it sounds like they're adding new fighting characters in the battle of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so I don't know if they're improving the combat of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or if... I don't know. To me, this looks more like kind of like classic like Xenoblade Chronicles combat. So there's a chance that they're adding... I don't know. This looks like an actual different game mode. I don't know. I think these are just two different game modes for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. And that's cool. They're adding some new things so you can play these games. The biggest thing I found funny, like these feel like two additional, like actual added like things, like new combat modes and stuff. Well, the improvement for Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is that they added a vehicle so you can get around places faster. That's a little funny to me. That is a little funny. That is very funny. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming to the Switch 2 and stuff. They then announced that the studio of the Xenoblade Chronicles developers is making a new game. And it's called Xenoblade Genesis. And it looks like Xenoblade 3. This is a prequel game, I believe, and I've heard that the developer of this series, I don't know what they're called. This developer of the Xenoblade games, they originally developed the Xenosaga games, but they never had the rights to them, and so they created the Xenoblade games. And Xenoblade 2, I believe, or 3, I think it was 3, added a character from Xenoblade Saga. But they never still had the full, they just probably got the license to that character. Well, it was like the beginning of this year, I believe, they got the rights. They fully own the rights to Xenosaga. So I'm thinking maybe they're probably going to tie in this game with Xenosaga. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I know nothing about the series besides the game. That's really it. I've only played the first game. I've never played Xenosaga. So, I'll play this. Of course I'll play this. I'm definitely going to play 3. I would get the Switch 2 version of 3. Never played the original Switch 1 version, so I'll get the Switch 2 version. And I'll get this game, because it looks cool. This has mostly been like an RPG thing for Nintendo. The RPG Nintendo Direct. So it has a lot of people upset that there wasn't a lot of actual like other type of games. No Mario games. No Wahoo games. So it's interesting to see nothing Mario related announced, especially for the 40th anniversary. That's weird. Like, are we gonna? I don't think they've been developing a 3D Mario. That's why we're not getting any 3D Mario announcements. Because the team who usually makes the 3D Mario games were working on Bonanza. So I don't think they had time to make a full 3D Mario game. That's why we're not getting any 3D Mario announcements, because they just haven't been working on it. Oh, Nintendo Switch Sports Resort is coming out as a sequel to Nintendo Switch Sports, and it's supposed to be like the Wii Sports Resort game, kinda like how it adds more mini games and stuff that you would have seen from Wii Sports Resort, and it looks fun. I'll play it. I never played a Nintendo Switch Sports. I've only played Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. So I'll play this. It looks like a fun little game collection. So I'll play this, but they did show like they had a new game completely, which is a thumb wrestling game, and they had like the host of the show play that. Like, he did an entire demonstration of thumb wrestling, and it was funny. I found it funny that he lost. Like, the entire, like, usually you don't see like demonstrations like that where the guy hosting the demonstration at Nintendo loses the game. So I found it very funny that he lost. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, he just lost. Like, it. So it was a cute little thing, but I'd play this. I'll play it. Maybe not on day 1, but I'll play it eventually. They showed more Star Fox. I do think that's the next game that is released after that. There's already been memes of him on Blue Sky, because he does the motion, because his arm's out of the frame and stuff. So he does that motion. There's already been memes about, like, someone said when Kingdom Hearts 4 appeared on the screen, and it shows a clip of him doing the motion and stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh. This game has been announced at multiple showcases. It's been announced the State of Play, the Xbox Showcase, and now the Switch. And it's RuneScape Dragon Wilds. This is the survival spinoff, the survival game spinoff of RuneScape. RuneScape is like an MMO RPG. And this is multiplayer and stuff, but this is very much more of a survival game than an MMO. And I'm excited for this because I love survival games, and I'll play this. At this point, I think the universe wants me to play it because this was at 3 different fucking showcases. So at this point, it feels like the universe is like, play this game. Play this game. Play this game. Because, actually, no. It was at State of Play. I think it was also in this, wasn't it also in the Summer Games Fest? So four. It's been in four fucking showcases. The universe wants me to play this motherfucker, and you know what? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it because I've always wanted to play it. I just didn't have a computer. I don't think I could handle this. My computer definitely probably would not have handled the game when it was in early access on PC. So I'm just gonna either gonna buy a new computer and then buy it for that, or get it on Switch 2 or PS5. A new Hello Kitty Mario Party game has been announced. I have nothing to say about that. They showed more information about Star Fox. Basically they just said there's a demo coming out today, and because today is still the 9th. Today is still the 9th of recording this video, and they showed more gameplay at the Treehouse presentation. So this is actually interesting. This game is a new Final Fantasy game, the first ever Final Fantasy game that is in the HD 2D style. Now I was like, is this a remake of like an old PS1 game or something? Like a spin-off game? Like I was trying so hard, but like, is this a remake or is this a brand new game? And technically it is not a remake, but it's also not a brand new game. So basically there was a mobile game called Final Fantasy Brave X Virus. I don't know how to pronounce that. It was a mobile game that got defunct. I think it got like, it was released and then eventually it got canceled or something like that. And this game again is not a port of that game. This is a full reimagining of this game, Brave whatever. It's a reimagining. It takes the first story arc of the mobile game and readapts it into a more traditional turn-based game. And it has characters like Cloud in it, because I think what this game is, they bring characters from past Final Fantasy game into this. So we get Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and I'm excited because I was wondering when they were going to do this type of HD 2D game with the Final Fantasy series. And technically, I'm going to count this as a new game, even though it is adapting the story of a mobile game. It's not the mobile game. It is just adapting the story. It's reimagining the story. I also wouldn't really think it's a remake of that, because again, it's using the first story arc and building upon it and making a brand new game. And since you can no longer play the mobile game, the original mobile game, this to me is just a new game. And I've always wanted like Square Enix to at least remake one of the other Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and not, yeah. No. Yeah, 6. 6 was a pixel art game. Yeah. Sorry. 6 was a pixel art game. I wanted to, like, at least one of those games get remade in this HD 2D style, but I'm 100% excited for a brand new Final Fantasy game to get this style. Again, even though it is reimagining, it's not the original mobile game, and it's trying to really make itself new. So I'm gonna classify this as a new game, and it's not just it's not just a Final Fantasy game in the HD 2D style. It's a brand new turn-based Final Fantasy game. That's fucking amazing. Before, so a lot of people wanted the new Final Fantasy turn-based game to be more like the graphics of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Final Fantasy 16 and stuff, but with turn-based gameplay. So basically, like Clair Obscura. But I'm fine with this. It's a new Final Fantasy game in turn-based. I'm excited. I truly am excited. Like this is going to be amazing. This looks like a weird little puzzle game. Looks interesting. This is a sequel to another game that I've never played. I don't think I'm gonna play this one. I might. It looks cute. I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, that. I'm not even thinking I'm gonna pronounce that. This game I find interesting. It's Dragon Quest Monsters. It's a new game in the Dragon Quest Monster series. But what I like the most about it is it's trying to be Pokemon, trying to be a Dragon Quest Pokemon game. But what I like about it is the world, how the world looks. So the overworld, the area where you explore and then you ran into monsters to fight. It's in a fish eye lens view. This is like a battle. The battle area looks normal, but the actual world to explore looks like a fish. Like it's just like this fish eye lens view. And I really like how that looks. It looks very interesting. I think it looks cool looking, honestly. So I'm looking forward to playing this. Not really, yeah, I think I am looking forward to playing this. It's Pokemon, so it's not actual Pokemon, but it's a place similar enough to Pokemon that it'd be interesting. But I like the hub area, the world, the where you explore is like a fish eye lens view. I think it looks cool. It's called Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World, December 3rd of this year. So that's cool. We saw more footage of duskbloods. We did not see any gameplay footage. No, it was just a bunch of cutscenes edited into a trailer, and it feels like classic From Software gameplay. But this is a PvPe game, so PvPvE. I don't know what that means. I really don't. Is this going to be more multiplayer? Because in the original, like From Software, like Dark Souls 2, 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, it had multiplayer elements. Like you will get raided once in a while and get attacked by players, or you can summon your friends and they can help you with a boss. But it wasn't seamless co-op. So if you summon them, they're only there to help you defeat an enemy or a boss, and then they'll disappear, and you can't fully explore the world with them. The Elden Ring, you couldn't fully explore the open world with them because it would lock areas off because you have to fight the boss that's in that area. So you better not summon them and need to go a far distance, or it will not let you go. So, is this game just going to be like classic From Software Souls-likes, but with a more seamless co-op option? Or is this going to be a multiplayer game that has like a From Software story? Because there is a closed network test happening later this year. Closed network test is summer 2026, so sometime these couple months. And they still have not shown the release date, both this game and a game a little bit later on. I don't know why Nintendo and From Software are treating these games as if they're fucking games coming out in 2027 or 2028, because we're in the middle of the fucking year. This is the perfect time to give us a release date and show us some gameplay of these games. Why are you still being like acting as if these games are coming later in 2 years or something? I just don't get it. I don't get it. When are we going to see gameplay? This game and another game, the final reveal. Zelda. I'm going to say Zelda because I don't know why I'm hiding that. Everyone knows it's Zelda. Zelda, they just said 2026. They have not given us a release date, and they not have told us when we will expect to play that game. They just said 2026. This is the perfect time to show off these games. I don't know why you're still hiding them as if they're 2020 late 2027 releases or early 2028 releases. Like I don't get it. I don't get it personally. So I think now it's just no. This was Splatoon Raiders. I didn't actually know that much about this game. I knew it was a single player game, but apparently you're a treasure hunter in this, and you're going to different islands and being a treasure hunter, finding treasure and stuff like that. So that's interesting, and it looks like a fun little game. It looks like you're trying to find treasure, but also has that gameplay from the single player missions from the Splatoon 1 and 2. But this is a full single player experience, and it looks fun. Looks like a fun little game. I'll play it. I've not played Splatoon 1 and 2 because I had no real interest to play it. I'm not really a multiplayer gamer. I think I've made this pretty clear in my videos. I'm not really a multiplayer gamer. I will play multiplayer games, and there are a select few multiplayer games that I absolutely love. Outlast Trials being one of them. I fucking love Outlast Trials, but it's more because that feels like a single player game than it does feel like a multiplayer game. So, you know, I love Outlast Trials. I love it. It's a good fucking game. So I'll play this because it looks like an interesting little game. So I'll play it. I didn't think I was going to talk this long about this showcase, but apparently I had a lot to say. And we're still not done because we got a bunch of sizzles. Like, I think the next thing is the sizzle wheel. Well, where they show a bunch of different games coming out for the Switch 2. Also, most of this is because it's been every time I skip to a next part, it doesn't load quickly. Oh, Deltarune got a new chapter announced. And the trailer looks very interesting. I have not played Undertale. I've not played Deltarune. I don't know if I ever will play them. Maybe. They look fine. They look fun. I just don't care. Oh, Metaphor Fantasia got a Switch 2 port announced. Metaphor Fantasia, whatever. I want to play this. I've not played this yet. I do want to play it, so I definitely get it for the Switch 2 and play it. Play it on here. It's a game that I would like to play. I installed the demo once, and I played the gameplay for a second, and I liked it, and then I just did something else. I never fully played it. So I want to play the full game. I want to play the full game. It comes out November 12th this year. Minecraft is getting a Switch 2 version, so it's going to one even better, because if you play the original Switch 1 version on the original Switch 1, it ran like shit. It ran awful. It was laggy. The world sometimes never fully loaded. So sometimes you're just walking on invisible world and you see like the bottom layer of the world and shit. And then when people play the Switch 1 version on Switch 2, it felt like playing the PS4 version or something. It felt better. It felt like the better version because it didn't have the problems it did when running on the Switch 1. So now you're going to have a native Switch 2 version. It's going to run even better. It's not going to have the frame drops, the frame rate problems, and it's not going to have the problems with the world completely just being invisible. And you're just walking on air. Like it doesn't, the world wouldn't fully load, and it would take like a good minute or 5 to fully load the world. So you'd just be walking on nothing, and sometimes you could see like a lava from like mines and shit or under the ground, and you just be like seeing like different type of elements that you shouldn't be seeing because there would be grass above it. Like you would still walk on it. It still knew there was an area to walk on. It just didn't load it visually. So on the original Switch 1, it ran my ass. On the Switch 2, I'm playing the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2, it ran better. It felt like you were playing the game like it was intended. There was barely any frame rate problems. And now we're getting a Switch 2 version that's going to run even better, apparently. Hopefully it runs even better. But this is the Bedrock version, and it has problems no matter what. So now we're at the sizzle wheel, the different game announcements that are coming to the Switch 2. This other game, I don't know what this is. It's a turn-based game. It's a part of a series. Space Marine 2 was getting a Switch 2 port, and it looks good. It looks okay. It doesn't look that bad. Observer System Redux is getting a Switch 2 port. Now, the original first game, is on the Switch 1, but only the original first game. It was then fully remade in the Unreal Engine. I think the original version was made in Unity, and then they remade it in Unreal Engine. And they added some new things here and there, but it was basically the same game with new stuff added. And now that's getting finally a Switch 2 port. And I love Observer. This is like their original style of game, Bloober Team. So they had the Layers of Fear 1 and 2, Observer, Blair Witch, and The Medium, which all played like more walking sim puzzle type of games. Layers of Fear 1 was very walkie sim. Layers of Fear 2 was also very walking sim, but it had moments where you're being chased from a monster and you had to run from the monster. And Observer also had those moments, but it was very much more of a detective game where you had to find puzzles and shit, figure out clues, and that. And it's definitely the better of the older styles. I didn't hate Bloober Team. I liked Layers of Fear 1 for what it was. And I think Layers of Fear 2, to me, was better because you were being chased by a monster. It wasn't a stealth game. It was just still a walking sim game, but there was a threat. Like, if you died, you restart from the beginning of that area. But instead of Layers of Fear 1, if you got killed, you just got teleported to the next section of the game. So there was no real stakes to the matter. Like, you die, you just get teleported to the next area. So it's well, Layers of Fear 2 added stakes at least. And Observer, I think, was the better game. And they made the Observer, and then Blair Witch came out. That was awful. The Medium was the gameplay was good. I thought the story was bad. I thought the story was a bad game. And they then made up everything with Silent Hill 2 Remake. They finally added more of a survival horror style gameplay. And then they made Chronos to prove that it wasn't just because they were basing off of an already made story. They proved they could do the style game with their own little story. And they're also making the Star Trek game is coming to the Star Trek horror game made by them is coming to Switch 2. I don't know about the Saw Genesis game, but that's not really made by them. They're just helping with the development. They're not the main developers of that game. They're just helping development with it. So I don't know if that's coming to Switch 2. So far, a Bloober Team has been really good with porting games to the Switch 2. I don't know when we'll see if Silent Hill will ever get Switch 2 port, because that's all dependent on Konami. I believe if Bloober Team had their way with the Silent Hill 2 remake getting released wherever, they would release it on the Switch 2. But everything comes down to Konami making that decision. And this game, and still, we did not get any release date about Castlevania Belmont's Curse. So will the Switch 2 version, the Switch 1 version, I think it's only be on Switch 2. It could be on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. Is that going to get delayed, or is that not even coming out to? I think it is supposed to come out on the Switch 2, but they didn't. When they showed it off at the Xbox Showcase, they showed the other consoles along with that release date, October 15th. And Nintendo Switch was the only console that was not listed. So is that going to be delayed for the system? Out of all the type of games that would be delayed for the Switch 2 and not be day one, I did not think a 2.5D Metroidvania platformer would be that game. I definitely would think it'd be the like something like Resident Evil 9 or Pragmata. If Capcom is able to fucking release these games day one, then you're able to release a 2.5D Castlevania game on the Switch 2 day one. That weird. But Bloober Team, they've been doing really good with Switch 2. And honestly, out of every showcase, Bloober Team's been having a lot of announcements. They had that Saw Genesis game get announced, which again isn't their game, but they're helping on it. They are one of the developers helping on it. So in turn, it is somewhat their game, but not fully their game. They're just helping. So they got that announced at the Summer Games Fest, and they got fucking Future Game Show. They had the DLC for Chronos announced, and then at IGN Live they had Star Trek, the Star Trek horror game they're developing, get announced. And now Nintendo, they're like, you know what? We don't want to leave Nintendo out. Let's have a game. Let's port a game for there and announce it at the show. I'm like, holy shit, guys. God damn. They've been getting some good announcements. I do think I want to make a video later on talking about Layers of Fear 3, because That is also another game they announced earlier this year. I don't want to give my thoughts on that and like speculate on that, what the game will be like. But this was not the only game. And it's coming out June 18th. Oh my god, it comes out this month? Shit. Fuck yeah. DayZ is getting a Switch 2 port. Crazy, but okay. Switch. It's the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2 is coming out. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20th year celebration is coming out to the Switch. I think it said Switch 1 and 2. No, just Switch 2. Shit, it's just getting a Switch 2 port. Fuck. Okay. Okay, the first game. The reason I thought it was Switch 1 and 2 because the first game was released on Switch 1. But they're just skipping to Switch 2. And that's cool. I might get this. It's later today. I'm not now, obviously. But I'll get this when I get a Switch 2 because I love the reboot Tomb Raider trilogy. I still have not played Shadow. I will admit that. But I love Rise. Rise was a really good game. Of course, my favorite of the entire trilogy is the first game. And, I'll get that on the Switch 2 as well, because it's on the Switch 2 as well, so hell yeah. Hell yeah, so that's cool. And it looks just like the PS4 version, so that's fucking great. Tales of Eternia, whatever? Remaster? Okay, cool little, or October 16th. Okay. Looks a little cool. I never played this. I don't even know anything about this. So, SnowRunner getting a Switch 2 port. And another fitness boxing game? Fitness Boxing 3? I don't know. What is that? Fitness Boxing 3, yeah. Okay. And then Everbloom. Okay, that's coming out July 16th. And then Everbloom, which is like a little cozy farming sim furry game. Spring 2027. Okay, and this was already announced. Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 14 online. And you're going to get early access available August 2026. So that's cool. You can finally, people Nintendo Switch can play it. This is also another big news. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 got released on the Switch 1 through cloud. It was the cloud streaming on Switch 1. So, and honestly, that makes sense for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 was an Unreal Engine game, even though many people, including myself, believed they could have found a way to port it on Switch 1. It makes sense that they wouldn't, and they would focus more on just doing a streaming version. They fucking ported Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 streaming, cloud streaming. That did not make sense to me at all. That easily could have been natively ported on Switch 1 because that was the version that they the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD remix, whatever it's called. Those started out on the PS3. So those are the PS3 games that were HD ported, like HD remastered for PS4. So those are just PS3 games. Those could have easily been ported natively on the fucking Switch 2. And not just that, they're HD versions of a PS2 game. So Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were originally PS2 game. So they easily could have ported these games directly to the fucking Switch 1. Like, it makes sense that Kingdom Hearts 3 got the cloud version. It did not make sense why Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 remastered and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue got a cloud version. But you know what? No more cloud versions. The Switch 2 can fucking handle all three of these games. And now they're getting native releases on the Switch. And they're also getting a full collection version of 1, 2, and 3. So you can buy these games separately. And you pre-order today. They're all released October 8th. Or you can get an entire collection of the games, 1 through 3. That is awesome. Now, there's also a demo for 3. So you can play a demo, which I'm guessing is based more around the Toy Story levels. So you can play it and see how the game plays on the Switch 2 and stuff like that. Now, next announcement. Out of all the showcases, I would think this game would be announced at, and many people honestly thought it would be announced at as well. The state of play. I mean, Square Enix has been very good with Jeff Keighley or an Xbox, so there's a chance they could have showed up at Jeff Keighley's shows or the Xbox showcase. But again, it made a lot more sense that PlayStation would get it at their state of play because this series started out on PlayStation 2, and then the third game was originally supposed to be a PlayStation 3 exclusive. So even though I'm not a fan of this, like I say not a fan, like if I actually got into this series, I know for a fact I would be a fan of them. I know for a fact. I just haven't. I've only played a little bit of the first game, and that was when I had PS Plus, and then I lost PS Plus, and even if I get it now, I don't even think the games are even on PS Plus anymore because it was part of the catalog, the PS Extra program. So even I was surprised and shocked because I know how big of a deal this announcement was. And I was shocked to see it at Nintendo Direct. The trailer begins with the like the hooded character, the hooded people in Kingdom Hearts games, and it's a city environment, and people realized that this was Kingdom Hearts 4. And it's not just like cutscenes from the games and stuff. It is Kingdom Hearts 4. They show gameplay. They show full-on gameplay in this, and it looks fucking incredible. It's that fast-paced gameplay. It looks like closer to like the Final Fantasy VII games in a way. So it's that fast-paced like gameplay you saw from Kingdom Hearts. It looks amazing. It looks super fun. This looks crazy. We only get like a small elements of Disney elements in this trailer with Donald and Goofy for a split second. Most of this is in that city environment, that real world city environment. But this looks so good. Like, goddamn. This looks fucking great. I gotta play the first 3 games. I gotta play it. Because this is a series where you need to... Some people say, like, it doesn't matter, just start playing the games from the beginning. This is a series that I think you need to know, to have knowledge beforehand of the other stuff. You can't just jump into this game without playing the other 3 games. I don't think you're gonna be confused. Like, you cannot. A lot of people. There's some people who say, just play a game. When you are playing an RPG game, there are some people who says, just play the game. Who cares? Just play. Like, stop asking me if you should, like, start this. If this is a good starting point, because like I don't know. Like, I've seen people say that. You cannot do that with RPGs. RPGs is not a type of game where you can just easily go into the next series. Unless it's something like Final Fantasy, where each mainline game is a separate story in a separate universe. This is not one of them. These are continual sequel games that have plot lines that continue from one another. And you need knowledges from the at least the 3 other games stuff. Maybe even the spinoffs. So I definitely will need to play the other games before I play the 4th game. But they did not give a release date, but they said this game will be available at launch on the Switch 2. So it's going to be released day 1 with every other consoles, and it's released on every other. It's going to be released on PC, PS5, and I think also Xbox, but I'm not really sure. Also, the Epic Game Store. It's going to be on both on Steam and the Epic Game Store. So they finally talk about the final announcement. So when Star Fox, okay, here's the thing. Star Fox Remake gets announced. People talked about how that was a game that got leaked, but there was 2 other games, Star Fox and 1 other game, that got leaked information at the same time in the same post. The same person, the leaker, talked about how there was going to be a Star Fox remake and an Ocarina of Time remake. Star Fox got confirmed by Nintendo last month in its own little direct. And so with Star Fox being confirmed, the next logical uh, game to be real is Ocarina of Time remake. And this is the final game they shown at the Nintendo Direct, and it is Ocarina of Time remake. It's very clearly Ocarina of Time. I think you hear the voice of the great Deku Tree, and it shows this map, this beautiful little map of Hyrule and all that. And it's very clear that they're going to make a lot of changes to this game. Now, Nintendo is very much in their cinematic phase because they have been releasing a bunch of cinematic movies and theaters and stuff. So I very much think we are now in the cinematic era of Nintendo where they put a lot more focus on cutscenes and stuff. Make the cutscenes feel as cinematic as they possibly can, because Star Fox is definitely a good example of that. The new Star Fox game is very cinematic. So then this shot shows a drawing of Link above the great Deku Tree, and it says a forest boy who does not have a fairy. And then we get a shot of Link, and it's fucking it's more of a realistic style, and this is how I think Link is going to actually look in the game, in the actual game. He's not wearing his a green tunic. He is wearing like this forest-made green outfit, and this is young Link. This is kid Link, and this right here, there are a lot of changes from the main game already, and this very much, I do think that we're seeing what the game looks like. It's no longer in that cartoony, shell-shaded look from the Breath of the Wild games. This is now in a more realistic look. Honestly, I could easily compare this to like the more of Final Fantasy VII remake games. So that's how I see this more. It's in that more realistic style. Link's hand glows with the Triforce. This is, oh my god, I am so excited for this. You don't know. I am so excited for this game, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, and I don't think it's just gonna be like the 3DS game, which I do actually have right here, where it was just a graphical update of the original game. I think this is going to be bigger. Now, I don't fully believe it's going to be open world. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be full open world. But I do think it's going to be bigger than the original game. I do think it's going to be probably a more semi-open world. Still not full open world, but semi. It's still going to be linear and stuff, but there probably going to be a lot more side quests and shit like that. It's going to probably feel bigger. I don't think it's going to go full Breath of the Wild. I truly don't. But I do think it's going to be bigger than the original game. And not just in the cutscenes and the story adaptation of this game, but very much in the world itself of Hyrule. Hyrule feel is going to be a lot bigger, and it's going to be, and the areas are going to feel a lot seamless when you enter them. They're not going to be blocked off through a load screen. They're going to be seamless, like you go to the Hyrule field, and then you enter the Hyrule, like the castle grounds seamlessly. I'm so excited for this. I truly am so excited for this because I love Ocarina of Time. It is an absolutely incredible game. I have it hooked up to my TV right now, the original N64 version. I have my N64 hooked up right the fuck now, and I got the game. I've been playing it on the N64, and it looks shit on my HD TV. I need to get a fucking CRTV because I know for a fact CRTV makes analog, the ports type of consoles and stuff fucking better, because HD TV just makes it shit look blurry, while a CRTV will make it look like how it was intended to look. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Like, you truly don't know how excited I am for an Ocarina of Time remake. This is gonna be absolutely incredible, and I am so excited. I want to know more, and I find it fucking weird. It's supposed to be releasing holiday 2026, so close to December. I find it weird that we are now in the middle of fucking 2026, and they're keeping this mysterious as if this is a game that's supposed to release next year. Where's the gameplay? Where is all that? And even though, yes, this was rumored for a while, this was leaked for a while, it didn't ruin the excitement for me. I was still fucking hyped for this. I was still like, fucking like, yes, it's real, it's real. I was fucking hyped. I knew it was happening because Star Fox confirmed it. But it's fucking real. The excitement was still there. The hype was still there. I don't think the leak really ruined it. Would it have been a lot more hyped? Would I have been a lot more hyped if there was no rumor or leak? Yes. And was I still hyped to see it? Fuck yeah. And I'm so excited to see this game. I'm so excited to play it. I want to play it. I need a Switch 2. I gotta fucking buy a Switch 2. And then I'll play Ocarina of Time. And I cannot fucking wait. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. And I can't believe I talked more than both. I talked an hour and 25 minutes more, like no 30 minutes more than the State of Play. And I talked more than Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase combined. Holy shit. Just about one fucking direct, because I had a lot to say, and I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to see more on Ocarina of Time. Tell me what you guys thought was the most hype out of this showcase. Were you excited for Kingdom Hearts 4? Were you excited for the Liza P port? Are you want to know more information about Duskblood like me? You excited for Ocarina of Time remake? Tell me down below. And I do have a Twitch, which is twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. I am going to put the link on the screen now. So apparently I cannot spell. So there we go. Let me fit that onto the screen. There we go. Twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. That is twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. Twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. Link in the description to follow me there. I play a whole bunch of games, and I will be playing a lot of these Switch 2 games on my Twitch channel. So give me a follow and subscribe to this channel. I do more podcast stuff. I also do full game playthroughs. I stream them on Twitch, and I post them the full game video on this channel, so go subscribe for that. And I talk about more gaming news, but most of it be on this podcast stuff, this podcast format. And I do reactions to game trailers and stuff. So give this subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.